a black female presenter on America. Is it Candace Owens?
I love Candace Owens.
Candace Owens. She is. Yeah, I don't watch her that often, but when I do watch her,
She's fair. You don't mess with Candace Owens.
Yeah,
she's
highly articulate, highly. And I'm going to say anti-woke, but it's not just that. She just talks common sense.
Yeah.
And she dissects things really very well. Anyway, so the Oscars. So, again, going back to my pre-COVID days, I would, as an avid watcher of the Oscars, I used to run up to the Oscars.
I've never watched the Oscars because it's very rarely they award a film that I think's any good.
Yes, and I think you're right.
And that's been all my childhood. They never award anything that I think
you're right. Every now and then they do, but generally it's awarded for things that are very obscure and for actually often very dreary films, I think. However, I was an avid watcher, used to watch it, love all the razzmatazz and all that sort of thing. Would have loved to have gone
You were woke, weren't you?
I would have loved to have gone to Elton John's post-Oscar party, but I was never invited. Yeah. But now, they've also, I don't know if you know, they've changed the criteria. I think we discussed this in a previous... They've changed the criteria.
I don't know, but can I guess it?
Yes, go on.
So, I don't know, but let me guess. There will be now no male or female best actress. It'll be just best actor.
Yeah, I think so.
Is there a category now for best black actor?
No.
Is there a category for most diverse film?
Yeah, no. But what they've said is, if you don't have black actors, disabled actors, whatever, you won't be considered for an Oscar. So what they're saying now is, unless you have a diverse cast and crew, you're not going to get anywhere near the Oscars.
Right.
So you've got to have a black person in the or a Chinese person or whatever in the actual film itself, and your crew has got to have the right mix. There's got to be a certain number of women, men, black. So it's basically saying we're going to take away all your creativity from the basis we want. Forget meritocracy and good people who make good films. You've got to employ all these people in your film, basically. Not the best actors, not the best directors, not the best producers, but ones that fulfil diversity criteria.
Hence why we don't make any decent films anymore.
So, the Oscars. So I didn't watch the Oscars, but I watched Candace Owens talking about the Oscars, and she specifically focused on two things. There's an actor called John Cena, who is
he's a big Muslim.
Yeah, he's a former wrestler basically. Yeah. And he came on naked on stage.
I heard that. I didn't see it, but I heard that. Yeah.
So he was. You couldn't see his penis, but he came on carrying. So
that's because it was really small.
Possibly. Yeah. It was quite a big card. If you. So I'm not. I'll do the research on his penis size subsequently. So that happened first. Then there was a Jewish director who'd made a film about the Holocaust, who came on and denounced Israel on stage. And then multiple members of the audience, and you might have to tell me what the significance of this, were wearing red badges, which apparently, I don't know if you know what that means. Apparently, I meant to look it up before I came today. So what Candace Owens was saying, and I've again, having not taken the red pill 4 or 5 years ago, I realised what she said was making total sense. What she basically saying was normalisation of messages, ideas and things that the elites want to be commonplace happens at places like this.
And has been for decades.
Yeah. So nudity of men and women or whatever, they want it to be acceptable for all sorts of creepy reasons. So let's get a nude man on the stage because that makes it acceptable. Yeah. Not just to the adult generation, the children as well. It's okay for a naked man to come on stage. Normalisation of hatred of Israel will make that happen by making a Jewish film representative of our academy, one of our people, denounce Israel on stage. And we'll allow it to happen, by the way, because the Oscars is fully scripted. They know what's going to happen when people come on stage. And by the way, we'll have everybody in the audience wearing this red badge, which maybe our listeners can educate us as to what it means, but it's something to do with Israel or Palestine or something like that, the red badge. So what Candace Owens is saying, this is where it's happening, guys. If you want to see the future, if you want to see what the elites want us to swallow and accept, you're seeing it now, and it starts, this is one of the major places it starts. Do you think that's true?
I agree, but it's been going on for decades. 20 years ago, you would have got an Oscar, stood on stage, and you would have talked about climate change. You'd have talked about the hole in the ozone. You would have talked about being gay. 10 years ago, they went through a phase that every woman who stood up and won an Oscar was talking about, I've won this for womankind because we're now winning Oscars and I'm a female director and this and that. And so I remember an action guy discussing, I can't remember his name now, but anyway, he discussed the environment a couple of years ago as well when he won his Oscar. It's always gone on. It's the elite preaching to the elite, but going one step further so they're even more virtuous. And the best person who takes down all these people is Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
When he used to do the Golden Globes.
Yes.
And he'd stand there and he'd rip them all apart. And, because he knew they're all hypocrites. They're all talking about environment, but most of them flew there in private jets. They're talking about being kind, and in the audience are paedophiles who later on got arrested.
Yeah.
They've got many of these Oscar winners on stage praising who was the producer who was a paedophile? Epstein?
No, it was
Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein, yeah.
Praising him before he got arrested.
Yeah.
He made my career, and all of a sudden he's now in jail.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I don't know him. They're all big hypocrites.
Yeah. Well, lots of the female stars didn't comment on Harvey Weinstein because they probably succumbed to his charms, I would imagine, to get roles at various points. Yeah. So for the first, I didn't watch it now, but perhaps I should have watched it to realise what the hell everybody's now trying to promote in this.
The Naked Man bit.
Yeah. The
Naked Man bit would have been to increase the reports of the Oscars, because the most reported and most watched Oscars for many decades was the one where Will Smith slaps Chris Rock in the face.
Yes. Yeah.
Because controversy happens, so that was shown again and again and again. People talk about the Oscars and that what. So the Naked Man on stage, I reckon, was a stunt, approved. Do you know what? All the press will be talking about this tomorrow because no one else is watching the Oscars.
Yeah.
Unless there's controversy, no one cares.
Yes.
So we need to create a bit of controversy.
I think the viewing figures have plummeted, actually.
I've been doing it for about 10 years.
Yeah.
Jumping every year, jumping down.
So do you think the Will Smith, Chris Rock incident was staged then?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, you think it was genuine?
Absolutely genuine, yeah. Chris Rock's extremely upset about it. You can tell when he speaks about it and makes jokes about it.
Really?
He's absolutely disgusted with Will Smith.
Yeah.
Will Smith went down in everyone's estimation.
Well, I think just Will Smith just came across as a bit thick in that moment.
He came across as a cook, as a cuckold, someone who is under the thumb by his wife.
Because he was actually laughing.
He laughed at the joke until he saw her face and she scowled at him, and he got up and slapped him.
And she treats him terribly, apparently. I mean, whether this is all made up as well.
No, she's admitted it all on TV.
Yeah.
She was having... Their marriage is not exclusive.
Yeah.
She can sleep with whoever she wants to. She was sleeping with... It's either her son or Will Smith's son, because Will Smith's got children from another marriage.
Yeah.
So Will Smith's son, she was sleeping with his best mate, who's also an up-and-coming rapper. That's all been in the press. She's admitted it. She got Will Smith to go on her own podcast to talk about it with him. So how do you feel about that, Will? That I'm sleeping around and I'm a bit of a tart. And Will Smith, he's almost in tears. She has destroyed. She's destroyed an action hero, because that's what he always portrayed himself as, an action hero. I used to love Will Smith's films.
Yeah.
I can't watch his films anymore now because
you know he's a weakling.
He's a weakling. He just acts like a man because he's an actor.
Yeah.
But he's a weakling, and she's extremely damaged. On one of her podcasts, which I saw, part of it, she was talking about when she was 13 years old, how her grandmother taught her to masturbate.
Oh.
And it's like, no wonder you're damaged, girl. No wonder you're damaged. She was in love with Tupac. They were boyfriend, girlfriend.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Is this Jaden Pinkett Smith?
Yeah, her. So she was involved with...
She's very small. She's only about that tall.
Yeah, very small. So she's not got over Tupac, who was the love of her life. She still, from what I've read, she still writes love letters to Tupac.
He's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, he's dead, but she still writes to Tupac. She's damaged
as mad as
goods.
a box of frogs by the time.
She's damaged goods, and she's destroyed him.
Yeah.
But he needed a strong woman because he's a weak man.
Yeah.
But he picked the wrong strong woman.
They've dropped even further in my estimation now. I didn't know all that stuff.
No.
But I didn't realise you were such big fans of the Smiths.
Well, he's done some of my favourite films. The Bad Boys series are probably...
Yeah, I've never watched that series.
Oh, they're fantastic films.
Have you seen what's it? Legend.
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. Yeah.
With zombies. Yeah, he's making part 2 to that.
That is a brilliant film.
Yeah. The only films he can make now, he's ruined his career. The only films he's making now are sequels.
Yeah.
He's making Bad Boys 4. Bad Boys 5 is being written. He's making I Am Legend 2. He's making the one with the aliens that blow up the White House. Independence Day.
He's making... Yeah,
he's making 3 on that. Yeah. Because they're the only films he can make now, because the studios...
Nobody wants him for a lead, yeah.
Not for a new film, because you take a chance on a new film, but a rehash of an old film, a sequel's guaranteed money.
Yeah.
They're the only films he can get now are sequels. He's ruined his career.
Yeah, his career's over.
Because people like me now go, not watching him in a new lead and I can't stand him anymore.
Yeah. Maybe we should start to make this into a movie review channel.
We should do. Yeah.
You could come on nude.
Or we rename the podcast the Bad Boys.
Good.
If you like that video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell and comment. And if you like what I'm saying about running for Mayor of Greater Manchester, then stick around. Tell your family, tell your friends. The only way I'm going to have a chance of winning is a grassroots movement. So be part of that movement and hit that bell. Thanks.